drink some water. Kingdom people, where you at, kingdom people? Oh my goodness. Come on in the room, kingdom people. Hello, 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 hello. I'm just going to give it one more minute. Whew. I'm hot, y'all, but it's cold out there. And if I take it off, I'm going to get, well, maybe not get cold because I'm in the car. Hey, kingdom people. Thank you so much for being here. Kingdom people, where you at? Where you at? Excuse me. I'm going to make this real quick. Excuse me. So listen, kingdom people, this was on my spirit, and I need to be under some covers right now. Did a little work this morning, and that's where I was at, kind of just relaxing, laying around in my robe and undercover at points, because I just need to rest. So it was just really on my spirit, because I had to come out anyway, get something. So it was just on me to just do a live, because this was really on my spirit. So anyhow, kingdom people, listen, God was talking to me about y'all. Some of y'all. Hi, Keys from Germany. Thank you so much for joining. Wow, we got Germany in the house. Yeah, so kingdom people, God was talking to me about how, now, first of all, this ain't everybody, so put these things in its proper perspective. Only take what resonate. But God was saying how, you know, and this is not the first time he mentioned this to me, but he was really speaking to me about it. And he was saying, tell my kingdom people that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. Shouts out to Chicago. That's my hometown, by the way. Stay steaming. Okay. Okay. Thank you for joining. Hey, Miss Shauna. God bless you too, Miss Shauna. Happy to see you here. Thank you for joining. And so God was talking to me about some kingdom people, not all of you. But he was saying, you know, it's some people out here that's like God's people. Let me be clear. God's people. That I'm feeling like, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? And God said it's going to happen. You have to understand that you in process. What's the rush? It's gonna happen when it's time for it to happen. It's just your job to continue to be obedient, continue to do what God is telling you to do. I'm glad you caught me too, Keith. Oh, thank you, Miss Shawn. I'm happy to see you too. Well, I can't hear you, but but I hear you. I hear you through here. So this whole thing of when it's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen. First, let me just read the scriptures that he gave me, and these are two of my favorite scriptures. I just heard, girl, you got a few favorite scriptures, but this is two of some of my favorite scriptures. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak and not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So God is saying, as long as you're doing whatever you're supposed to be doing, see, don't worry about that. Sometimes you can get so caught up on when, and I'm just gonna keep it real. You ain't even ready. When you get ready, though the vision though the vision, I can't talk. Though it tarry, wait for it. God has to get you ready. God has to get the stuff ready. Yes, God can do anything in the blink of an eye or of a snap, whatever, because he's God. But he needs you to be processed. He needs you to elevate, activate within, in your spirit. He needs your spirit to continue to, you know, evolve, to elevate. He needs you to come up higher. God knows what he's doing. God is not getting ready to give anybody something that they're not ready for. I'll take that back. Sometimes it does happen. But I wouldn't say God does it. I wouldn't say God do that. If you're God's people, he's going to take care of you. He's going to make, I will guide you along the best pathway for your life. He going to guide you along the best pathway for your life. You have an advantage because you're allowing God to guide you. So don't worry about when. Just keep walking it out. God was talking to me too about this morning. He said some people still have people, and that's not everybody. Again, take it as resonate. Some people still have people in their life that he can't bless them and give them certain things because of people. I'm hearing blessing blockers. Some people, God has told some people to move around them, to not have anything to do with them. But you know, people who, I'm going to say what it is, who are not strong enough to let people go, they still hold on. Very understandable. And when I say not strong enough, I'm not saying that to talk down on anybody, because sometimes you're not strong enough. You have to gain your strength. You have to get your strength, but God can't give it to you. See, the fact that you're not strong enough and you have to get your strength to just walk away from somebody that God don't want you around, that's not good for you, that lets you know that you're not ready. God is not just going to give you blessings just so they can be squandered over. These blessings ain't for these people that's around. I mean, it's not just the people thing. But that's something that God was talking to me about. Some people still tipping and tapping, flipping and flapping with people that they don't even have no business being with or being around, still dealing with, but saying, God, when, God, why? When, God, when? I'm trying to say. And God's saying that you're not ready. But if you continue to do what he's telling you to do, and in this case, if you do what he's telling you to do, when it's time, it don't even mean you're going to let some things go and let some people go and it's going to happen right away, because you're still in process. But he's saying, though the vision tarry, wait for it, for it will happen in its appointed time. Who knows the appointed time? God. Here's the other thing what God was showing me. With great blessings, certain positions God is putting you in, certain things that God is moving you and calling you to carry out and walk into, that he's showing you, and you know, that he's leading you into, it comes with a great responsibility. And so God has to prepare you for that too. You're not even used to carrying on what he's bringing to you. So he has to, you know, prepare you for it. And he does that in increments at a time. But the thing is, if you just do what he's telling you to do, learn what he's telling you to learn, let him continue to work in you and evolve you. I'm hearing that you are his masterpiece. You are his masterpiece. What he has begun, he is faithful to finish. So let God do in you what he's doing in you. And when it's time, and the other scripture is Isaiah 60 and 22. When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. When the time is right, not when you want it, not when you, and the thing is this, I promise you, you think you're ready, but you're not. Some of you are ready. What I mean by that, you are in a ready mode. You're in a ready disposition. You are in a receiving mode. You're in alignment, and God is bringing it in. But again, he's doing it his way, because he knows the perfect time, and God knows what he's doing. You have to remember, it's his plan, not yours. Yes, you may be lining up with his plan for your life, but it's still him doing. So to ask when, listen, you're doing a disservice to yourself when you do that. I promise you. You are causing yourself some misery, possibly some depression, some sadness, some feelings like you not getting ahead, which may be all wrong. Notice I said maybe, because maybe, like I said, some of us have more work to do where you're not really ready yet. You know, but the point is, get ready. And when he say it's time, he'll make it happen, because it's him doing. anyway. And the other part of that is when you in a hurry to make it happen, you know, it's like this. Just chill. When you really on God's plan, when you really on God's time, and when it's really about God and his purpose for your life, you don't even really care about none of that. You just happy just being in his presence. You just happy that he called you. You just happy that, you know, you're just honored to be chosen, to be God's kingdom people. You're too busy seeking him first in the kingdom. You're too busy seeking him and his kingdom and the righteousness of God. And he gonna add all that unto you. You too busy trying to work the process. Get, you know, please God. Just make sure you're where he wants you to be. And as long as that's your main goal, or that's your, what I'm trying to say, that's your priority, God is going to work all that out. That's what matters most. Sometimes when you're in a hurry and you're just saying, when God, when, because you want something to happen, it's to fill your flesh. It's to fulfill your flesh. It's to please your flesh. And that's, God is not about pleasing your flesh. Doesn't mean you can't enjoy material things and things in this world, but he ain't here to please your flesh. He's here to, you know, glorify himself through you. And so things have to be done his way. I'm hearing walk in the spirit, walk by the spirit, not by the flesh. And so when you're, when God win, what does it matter? What does it matter? It's his program. Why? That ain't even none of your business when. Even though sometimes God will show you things and tell you things and give you time frames of when certain things are going to transpire, and then you see it from experiences that you've had. So when he tell you some things like that again, you know, because you've had that experience with him already, maybe many times. But the point here is, it don't matter when. He's saying that it's going to happen, and it's going to happen when he say it's time. You don't know when it's time, but he do. And I'm reminded even of how he said, you don't know the day or the hour when he gonna appear, when he gonna come back. It's the same thing, kinda. You don't know, again, unless he tell you certain things. But when God win, kingdom people, for those of you who this is for, who are doing that, it's not a good thing to do. You have to stay optimistic. You have to be positive. You have to just trust God. And just sometimes you have to put yourself in a place. Now, this is a whole nother thing, but it goes with this. You have to just be happy and be content where you are. You can't be making yourself, you know, I'm going to say it like this. You can't be moody. I mean, you can be, but what good is that going to do you? And I know we can all be moody, but what I'm saying is, when things are happening in your life or not happening in your life, you can't let every little thing that happens and going on affect your mood. Let me tell you something about that. When you allow everything to affect your mood, now I understand it takes some work to get there, because many of us, just being in this world, being in society, we have been taught to be negative, because that's all we've been around. So we have to learn and program ourselves to be positive and to trust God and all those kind of things. And that's work to do. But the thing is this, when you're being negative and when you have a sour attitude and all that, you're actually getting in your own way. You're getting in your own way, but steadily saying, when God win. Ain't no time. You delay it when you do that. Because God just wants you to trust him. Trust what he said. And you have to remember this too, now, candy people. We're going to be tested. No, we don't get tempted. That is of the devil. But we're going to be tested. God going to test us. We got to pass tests and graduate and go to high school and pass 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, graduate high school, go to college for some of us. But I'm speaking of when it comes to the things of God. You have to graduate and elevate. You have to pass those tests. God has to know that, okay, you got this. You got this, because what he's bringing to you, what he's giving you, and where he's walking you into, what he's using you for, he can't do it with you being any kind of way. And I'm not calling nobody just any kind of way. He has to prepare you. He has to, and and the thing is, while he's preparing you, it's actually happening. You just don't see the material results. But again, when you're too focused on that, and that's what it's about for you, just so you can, I don't even want to say what I just heard. I literally just heard flex. That's what I literally heard. That ain't what I was gonna say, but that's what I got interrupted with. Sometimes people just want to flex. I ain't saying nothing wrong with a little flexing, humble flexing. But what I'm saying is, when that's all that it's about for you, that's off. That's not what God doing. God help you flex humbly, but He don't want it to be about that for you. He don't want you to want it to be about you trying to prove nothing to nobody either. That's another thing. Some of you all like win, God win, but you just want to prove to people. You just want people to see. You just want people to know. They gonna know when it's time. But it should not be about that for you. This should be about you and God, and y'all walk together and what He's called you to do and fulfilling your purpose, the purpose that He has for your life. I'm reminded of talking to someone not long ago about the very same thing. I was just sharing with them how, this is a God thing. This person made a point to say something about being a celebrity. They called me a celebrity. And I said, well, if that's what it is, if that's what God is doing, and there may be some truth to that, I don't want to go into that, but I was pointing out to this person, that's not what this is about for me. Even if I'm saying when God do that, as God is doing that, that's not what I'm in it for. I don't set out to be that. But God, in the last, couple of years ago, He's been revealing that to me. But I'm not trying to make that happen. I'm just doing what He's telling me to do, moving in the things of God, whatever He's saying, do. And I'm chilling. I'm literally chilling. I ain't even in no hurry, kingdom people. You know why? Because what's the hurry? What's the race? What's the rush? What you trying to get to? He gonna make it happen when it's time, when you ready, when He see fit. So when I was talking to this person, I was just pointing out this is about, building the kingdom. This is about doing what God calls us to do. And I was even telling them that where they're concerned, like, you got to be careful about making it about being all this, that, and the other, and proving something, and just, let God do that. He said when you worship Him, when you praise Him in private, He will exalt you openly. So that's a result of what you're doing with Him, for Him, not just in private, but that scripture speaks of in private. He exalts you. So and I'm speaking of this in terms of those who just want to flex, those that want to prove something to somebody. Me personally, I could care less about who, what, think, what, thought. It's like, I'm so over people and what they do and think and thought and want for you and don't want for you. I don't care nothing about them people. In fact, I'm just low key. I ain't even trying to let people in on none of what I'm doing. I ain't trying to prove nothing to them, because my life is not about proving nothing to them. I'm reminded of how people say the best revenge is success. Although that may be so, I don't think we should set out to get revenge by being successful, because when you do that, you make it about them, which means it's not about God. It's not about y'all, what you and God is doing and what God is doing in you. So you have to be careful of that and just relax and just walk with God. Let Him work this out in you. I want to say stop sin, but who am I to tell y'all what to do? But I'm gonna say it. Stop asking God why. I'm sorry, that too. I'm just hearing that too. Some of y'all ask God why. But some things you can't ask for clarity, so you can give you understanding of what you need to do or where you went wrong or something like that. But when God win, God is saying scratch it. He's saying scratch that. When you asking when God win, guess what? It ain't nothing popping, because you too busy saying when God win instead of just moving and living and doing what He's telling you to do. It's not a rush. It's not your plan anyway. It's God's. I want to say it ain't about you. It's about Him here. It's not about you. It's about Jesus. That was my song way back in the days. It's all about Him. It's all about Jesus. It's about God being glorified. Jesus being glorified. Him using you, working through you to elevate this earth, to heal this earth, to help people come to Him, to help people to elevate him, to help his kingdom people. Yes, he will put his glory on you. Yes, he will exalt you openly if that's what he's going to do with you. But when, God, when is not a question to ask God. You will see when it's time. When the time is right, he the Lord, he'll make it happen for you. That's just how he do. That's how God work. And I don't want to be repetitive, but that's pretty much it. That's all really I have to say. Let me check out some of these comments. Y'all know sometimes I keep talking and I come back to them because I can lose my thought. And I end up being all over the place. I was walking in the store just now, not long ago, and I was feeling dizzy. Not in a bad way. I know y'all like, what's dizzy in a good way? Just, I don't even know. I feel a little what they call under the weather. What that mean? I be in certain sense. I be like, what? And now I'm saying it. Well, that's what they call it, under the weather. So I guess I'm under the weather. Not deep. You know what my under the weather, this one is a rest. It's saying rest. Because that's all I keep hearing, rest. And that's all I can do. I got up, did some little work, did my normal stuff, did a little work. And my body was just, I want to say my body made me rest because I was moving slow. My daughter even asked me, she said, are you tired? And I said, kind of. But I just feel like I need to rest. And I said, and I feel like I got a little, I don't know, not feeling well. That's what I said to her. I said, but I'm not, I said, I feel like I'm not feeling well, but don't feel like I'm feeling well at the same time. I just keep hearing rest. That's another thing. When, don't worry about it. He said, enter into his rest. Rest. Work as he tell you to work. Do what he tell you to do. Whatever it is for you, because everybody's stuff different. Some of us, God has more in a chill space where we do a little work. He positioned us to where we don't want to have to work so hard. And I shouldn't say work so hard. Well, some. And maybe we have at one point in time, but now God is leveling you off wherever you at, whatever you do. It doesn't matter. Trust and believe. God is, all of it serves a purpose. All of it is him. God is him getting to you to where you're going. I'm reminded of Joseph, like literally. I'm reminded of Joseph. And it's like every bitty thing he went through, it took him right to where they was trying to stop. We ain't finna touch that. The ones that try to stop you, block you, and you still end up there anyway. I was talking to me about something like that this morning, but that's not for right now. But he's saying, don't be asking when. Look, y'all getting on God's nerve. Talking about when God when. He be ignoring y'all. He be like that. He don't even want to talk to you when you asking him that. Do he answer you? I'm pretty sure he don't. I'm pretty sure he don't. Because he don't want to hear that. When, God, when. If anything, I shouldn't be talking for him, but I'm hearing anything he's going to say when I say so. I ain't telling you. It's a secret. It's his secret. That's his business. Anyway, kingdom people. That's exactly what it is, Miss Shauna. That is so thank you. Thank you for saying that, because that's exactly what it is. I hadn't even thought about that doing all this. But I do understand that to be control. You be trying to control some stuff and you ain't in control. How you in control of God's stuff? I mean, and I get it. Because when you're so used to controlling or being in control, and not just I'm not speaking of trying to control others, but just your own life. That's a very real thing. And that happens a lot when someone is about their business. And they want everything in order. When you're an orderly person, you tend to kind of be a little controlling, but over your things. Sometimes it can leak out into trying to control other people, but in a way, when you're kingdom people, when you're God's people, in a way where you want the best for them, and you trying to make things flow right. So you can come off as a little bit controlling, but God will show you yourself, and then you be like, okay, you learn to fall back. But God wants you to do the same thing with this. Stop trying to control him, and when it's gonna happen, and how it's gonna go. And I'm gonna tell you something. Going out here, you ain't gotta go out here, but trying to amp it up when he's not leading you to amp up something or add this or do this, and you overworking yourself, that don't work. That's not gonna do it, because first of all, if you're doing that and God ain't telling you to, you're really going against the grain. You're going against him, because he ain't leading you that way. You really have to follow the path. You really have to follow what he's saying. And yes, thank you for that, Miss Shanna. You have to let go of control. And it can be challenging, but it can be done. I know. I used to be a bit, not controlling, like I said, in a horrible way, but in a way where I need things to be right. And I need you to follow the plan. You know what I'm saying? But this is a real thing, Kingdom people, where I did not really have that control in certain situations, not just over people, but the environment, where it just wasn't my place it wasn't my thing, my situation. I wasn't the leader in that situation where I didn't have the position. It wasn't in my control. I removed myself from stuff that is out of line, out of order, that don't sit right in my spirit. The same thing with people. Even if I go through that with my daughter right now. It's so interesting. I've shared with many of you already that, well, with y'all already, that she has special needs. And so I have to deal with her in a certain kind of way. And it's kind of like, sometimes I have to repeat the same thing to her. I'm like, girl, you supposed to know this by now. Why I have to say this again? But this is the thing. Some things I have to. It's just what it is. And what God been dealing with me about where she's concerned, it's been for a while now, for a few years. I've been releasing control, but it's in different ways. And so it's a thing of releasing control, of feeling like she got to do things the right way, or not so much the right way, but sometimes that too. Or I shouldn't have to be repeating it. Guess what? Obviously, I do need to repeat it, because it needs to be repeated. So trying to control, listen, when you be trying to do that too, just like when God win, you ain't doing nothing but getting yourself bent out of shape, getting yourself bothered, frustrated, agitated. Same thing with when God win. You irritate your own self. And God ain't nobody else got nothing to do with it. Listen, we already got to deal with these other ones, them ones trying to bother us. You know what I'm saying? So you don't need to be bothering yourself. You don't need to be irritating yourself by asking when God when he said so. When he say. And he said what he said. God said what he said when he say so. When it's time. When the time is right. He, the Lord, gonna make it happen. He said, when the time is right, he gonna make it happen. Though the vision's hairy, wait for it. Because at the appointed time, it's gonna happen. That's when. That's when. At the appointed time. Anyway, if God told you, now don't take this with a grain of salt. Don't, okay? Because this ain't so for many of you. But it may be for a few. Maybe it's in 10 years. So if God said 10 years, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Stop walking with them. Stop because you tired. You ain't even ready. That's what I just heard. God said you ain't even ready. What you tired of? Get yourself ready. Let him get you ready. Let him orchestrate. God is, listen, let me tell y'all something else. I'm just going to go into this just a little bit, because I promise you, when God was talking to me, he been talking to me a lot about family stuff and certain stuff and this stuff. And I've shared some of that, but it's like God was talking to me about some stuff this morning. I was just like, I don't want to talk about it right now. That's what I told God. Like, and not that he was telling me to, but I was just saying that to say, please, God, don't have me talking about that right now. Now, if you tell me to, I would, you know that. But the point that I'm making here is, I forgot what my point was, y'all. Oh. No, that wasn't it. I forgot what I was saying. Let me see if it'll come back to me. I was talking about them ones and how we already have to see how I be distracting myself with my own, what I'm saying. It's interesting. I just heard it's normal. It's actually normal. It happens a lot. Some people just know how to bring it back around real good. I can do that too. But, excuse me, y'all. Not right now. I'm going to think about it and see. Well, it's not coming to me. But what I do know, I was wanting to say is, I forgot. I really don't know. I don't know what I was trying to say about them or the family. God, oh, I kind of remember. God was talking to me about some stuff, and I'm like, God, please. I didn't want to hear it. Not like that. But I did. God will give you a break as long as you respect. I'm like, God. And I was like, I don't care. As I'm talking, God is saying, that's how I want you to be. I don't care. I don't care. But sometimes he got to show you to make you aware, because people be doing all kind of stuff. And he just wants you to know what's up when he wants you to know. Sometimes things be going on and God ain't telling you, but he'll protect you. You know, it's just like when something happened and you in danger, you might not even know what's really going on, but God will direct you in a different way. Sometimes you might find out later why he directed you that way, the danger that was in that direction. Sometimes you don't know. But the point is to just trust him and do what he's telling you to do. But it's going to happen. And it's going to happen when God say, when he say. And he said he ain't telling you nothing. He ain't telling you. I'm just playing. Some of you all, you kind of know. It's already happening. I'm hearing from many, and it is. I've been getting that so strong, and it's happening. You can see things manifesting for many of you. You are already in the flow, and that's what it takes to get in the flow. And I'm literally hearing for the ones that say, when God, when, you ain't in flow. You get out of the flow when you start questioning God about when. Stay in the flow, and it'll happen. Just flow with him. Flow with God. Just rock it out with him. Listen, he ain't, you know, one thing you know is he ain't lying. God is not a man that he should lie. You know God ain't lying. God done already proven himself to you too many times, so you already know. Part of the reason why this is taking a little longer, because this on a whole nother level. God is walking you into your promised land. It takes time. Look at, I probably should say this, but look how long it took the children of Israel to walk through the wilderness, 40 years. And they got right outside of it and died. That's a whole nother message. I heard a woman of God speaking on that this morning. You right there. Don't give up. Don't you know the enemy is going through every extreme? I don't even want to even talk about him either. It's like, I'm so over all that. The enemy, what they trying to do. These people want to ban you. That's another thing God been talking about. Want to ban you. Want you oppressed. Want you to make you they prison. Don't want people to see you shine. I'm like, who sit up in their head and think like this? People know. Them ones. You know, there's another one that keep coming up. They feel entitled to you. I know there's one particular person, I told God this. I said, ain't the first time it was brought up, I said, they feel entitled to me because of this, that, and the other. Because they may have did this, they helped with this, but this the thing. I helped you too, in some ways. But, what about the part where you was trying to block, stop, get in my way? Dare I say, call yourself doing magic on me? To stop, block, keep me from moving ahead, going on with my life. You sitting up harboring jealous and envy, all this wickedness stuff going on in you. But you feel entitled to me. I was just like, what? You done jumped over all the wickedness and just say, but I did this for you. And some people feel entitled to you because they know you. I just heard, or they knew you. People be feeling entitled to you. But they also being trying to get in your way. Like, how do you, they just ignore that part. And some people even feel entitled to do what they do towards you. God was talking to me about that too. The person said they feel like, this particular person feel like they have every right to do what they're doing. And I'm like, why? Because you walked away and you kept going. You moved on with your life. And I said, well, when it's over, it's over. Ain't that what you're supposed to do? And then, we ain't even talk about why I walked away. I mean, what was they doing? I mean, even if you want to be not acknowledging it, or you want to tell a different story to others, if that's what you choose to do, you know what it is. So how you keep jumping over that part? But that's how people are. That's how they are. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. They try to stop, block. But this is, here, go right here. God is saying, they know it's going to happen. They know. Why you don't know? They know it's going to happen. For those ones that feel entitled to you, that's because they know it's going to happen. I wasn't even trying to go into this, but they try to block, stop, do all that, and they realize. God told me the other day about this other person that be doing all this stuff. Well, there's a couple of them, actually, but he was talking to me about one in particular. Do I know this work to try to mess up my finances? I'm like, what's new? People been trying to mess up my finances. I recently learned for a long time. And they was messed up at one point. I wouldn't say messed up, but you know what I'm saying. Now, God always took care of me, but I wasn't always in the best position, in a better position. I'm more in a better position, But like I said, I found out that people didn't want me to be able to come up financially, But anyway. Hey, Light and Love Warrior. Thanks for joining. Hey, Lamoni Chef. Thanks for joining. What auntie mean? You ain't even say hey or nothing. Just auntie. No, man, auntie. That's an honor. I heard one lady going all like, how y'all calling me auntie? I'm like, girl, because you older. That's like your nephew. They see you as an auntie, girl. This ain't like, I almost don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. Some of y'all know what this is. Back in the days, on the streets, when you was on that stuff, especially if you were a woman, that's what they called you, auntie. If you was an older woman, if you was older than them, because back in the days where I'm from, the young boys sold it. They called people auntie. The older women, the older ladies that were older than them. I don't take it like that because that ain't what I'm doing. I'm not living that. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, Kingdom people. It's going to happen, okay? I just wanted to come back and let you all know it's going to happen. Please, Kingdom people, stop asking God when. For those of you who do, and Miss Shanna, I already heard you. Control is an issue. Work on it. Just what? Release. That's all right. God understand that. He just wants you to release. And you release and control to God. Man, when I learned that I could release and let go and not worry about this and not do this. I mean, God first told me you don't have to struggle. You don't have to. I mean, you used to it. You know it. And when I say struggle, I mean it in a way where the energy of it is I want to say toxic, but it's harsh on you, on your body, on your spirit, on your mind. And I'm reminded of how we say these days, get it out the mud. Even though you might have got it out the mud, which pretty much means you had to go through some things to come up. You had to just make it happen, Captain. You and God, in our case. But you want to be careful with that because sometimes we are hurting ourselves. But again, it's understandable because it's what we know. It's kind of the way that we've been taught. It's how we've been groomed. We grew up in families that pass stuff down to us. And, I'm finna just share something real fast. This is on my spirit. I don't know. Well, it's just on me to share it. God had recently been talking to me about someone I know. I'm going to say that. And they're an elder. And they tend to talk broke, lack. Ooh, I ain't paying that for that. Ooh, I ain't finna spend this for this. That's their mentality. And I would know God was bringing to my attention someone else who, a younger person who they kind of close with and have been around a lot, actually lived with at one point, was raised by at one point. But they do this. God was just pointing out to me how that person do the same thing. They be like, I love Target. I love Target. Anybody that know me. So if you didn't know I love Target and you think you know me and you think you entitled to me, if you didn't know I love Target, you didn't really know me. Anyway, I love Target. And I was saying whatever I was saying to this person. This has been some time ago. And I was saying whatever about Target. Oh, we could get that. Or I could get this for Target. And this person said, girl, I don't have Target money. I was looking like, what? But I be noticing people talk like that. God was just pointing out to me. He was taking me to these instances. Well, different things too. But these ones in particular, he said, and they say it like it's cute. People be like, oh, I'm broke. This a whole nother message, but let me just say this. It can't happen like that. People, and then that, but not just that. In other words, it won't happen. When you say when God win, it's going to happen, but you can't be talking like that. You can't, and that's a whole nother thing because that's a whole training. You have to do a whole mindset. You have to switch from which at some point I'm going to be sharing more of that, but not on this platform because, yeah, I'm, later at a later date, but I do try to hit on it from time to time as God lead me. But the point that I'm making here is this, kingdom people, God was just showing me that this person, the elder, they do that, period. They've done it with me. Talk, like I said, I've heard them talk. I know someone else that's more of their peer would try to talk them out of talking like that. And I just be like, you wasted your time. But what God was recently showing me about this person, they do that on purpose because they're trying to put that on you. They want other people to think, ooh, don't pay for that. Ooh, don't pay that. Because they want them to have the lack mentality. They want people to have a lack mentality, like they're poverty stricken, thinking you can't afford it. And I'm not saying be reckless with your money and not handle your finances appropriately. I'm not saying that. It's a mindset I'm speaking of. It's you have to be careful what you speak out of your mouth. But some people, this is how they live, and then they try to pass it on to others and teach others that way, and you will never elevate like that. And I'm just gonna say this, and then I'm gonna move on from this. But then when they see you elevating, they get nervous because they try to put that on you, but you ain't accept it. You may have someone for a while until you learn different. You didn't know you was accepting. You wasn't trying to accept it. You were just finding your way through this whole thing. But anyway, I brought that up, I believe, to say that it ain't gonna happen like that. And you do have to be careful. It's like I always say, who you're around and who you letting talk to you. Now, I had this thing where I'm like, people can't convince me outside of what I know. I know quite a few people God have shown me they want to talk. I don't want to talk. And it ain't even because, even though I know what they're trying to do, persuade and trick and make me think, they want, how people gaslight. They want to gaslight me. It's a thing where even though I know it wouldn't work, why? I don't want to even be in your space, your energy, just because you own that. I don't want to talk to people like that. So the thing is this, kind of people, when you're around that kind of a thing, and that's part of why when you say when God win, not yet. When it's time, he still got to work some things out in you, just like that. Just like, you might have to learn how not to be trying to control. And I'm not saying God gonna wait until you perfect, because I don't know if that'll ever happen. But you're perfect to him already. Yet he still have to work some things out in you. So, kingdom people, the point here is this. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen when God say, when he say, although the vision tarry, wait for it, because it will happen at the appointed time. Kingdom people, when the time is right, he, the Lord, will make it happen according to Isaiah 60:22. Okay, so please stop asking God when. God when. Just continue to do the work, continue to learn, continue to grow. That's what you're here to do anyway. God can't use you like he wants to. Not that he's not using you now, but he can't use you at an elevated level until you elevate. He can't use you or give you the blessings at an elevated level until you elevate. So just keep elevating, kingdom people. And don't worry about when God win. Just know it's going to happen. Okay? So kingdom people, thank you all for joining me with Coffee Time with Latricia. That's the situation you in with your finances has been. Yeah. And that's okay. God is teaching you, and he's teaching you to trust him. He's probably teaching you to make some better decisions. And sometimes it be other forces trying to mess with your stuff. But what I would tell you is that you just know what it is and keep trusting him. And just know it's going to work itself out. And it do. It always do. You don't want to get tangled up in that. And I'm not saying sometimes it's not. I'm not saying that it's easy. So, because sometimes situations come up. Things happen. I'm going to use an example. Let's just say, it seemed like I used this example before for something. Let's just say your check wasn't deposited into your account when it was supposed to be. And that's the check that you need to pay your stuff. Now, that's tough. Because naturally, as a human being, especially when you are responsible one and you want to take care of your business, you're going to be like, I just heard, even if you don't, people be wanting their money. You're going to feel a certain kind of way because you thinking, I got to do that. It throws your stuff off. But you have to be careful not to allow it to, especially when you're walking upright before God. Now, if you out here foul, and that's not you, kingdom people, but for one of them ones that's out here foul and stuff just start messing up for them, that's what they deserve. And sometimes even if you're not one of them, but you just need to be more responsible, some things you need to learn, you need to mature and grow up, those things will teach you to do that. Those things God will use those things to teach you to level up, to elevate, to mature, to do things different. But ask God when, God when. Just do what you need to do. And when it's time, he gonna make it happen. Wait for it. The vision may tarry, but wait for it. Because it'll happen at his appointed time. Oh, absolutely, Miss Shauna. So, kingdom people, it will happen when it's time, okay? It's gonna happen. Kingdom people, I really do appreciate you all being here with me, taking this time. I didn't think I was gonna be on here for 45 minutes. I feel a little better. Kingdom people, y'all made me feel a little better. Probably this coffee too. I probably should be drinking tea, but I'm not. Maybe I'll drink some later. I bought some soup though from the Chinese people. Some egg drop soup. Man, do they got? Well, it don't matter. I don't mind eating that right now. I just wanted some soup, some egg drop soup, and a hot and sweet, hot and sour, whatever it's called. I bought both. Anyway, so that's what I'm ready to do. I'm ready to go home. I ain't gonna eat both of them right now. I might share some. We'll see what happens. And I'm gonna rest for a little while. And I got some other little things to do later. But I'm so glad I had this time with you all. Thank you all so much, you who joined. Thank you for all of you who watched the replay. I just want to remind you that it will happen. It's going to happen when God say, when it's time. Okay, kingdom people? You all know I don't want to leave you, but I do have to go right now. But I will be back to hold my kingdom people down. Why kingdom people? Because I love y'all so very much. But y'all know that though. Kingdom people, we are untouchable. That's for sure. Okay? Kingdom people, that is my time. Jesus girl, she's got to be out. She got to be. Peace.